Hi boys and girls of La Habra, this is Mr. Myers again, and today is Nutrition Day. Today we're going to be talking about bread. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about what food group do you think bread goes into? Protein, dairy, fruits, vegetables, grains, which one do you think? Hopefully you had said grains, all right? If you said grains, you would be correct, all right? With going up talking about grains, we're going to talk about two types of breads today, all right? The two types of breads we're going to be talking about is whole wheat and white bread. But we know that breads can come in many different forms, all right? So we're going to talk about the different forms right now, what bread comes into. So we also have bread in hot dog buns. These are white breaded hot dog buns, okay? We also have hamburger buns, okay? These are white bread. This loaf of bread is wheat bread, okay? It says wheat bread, and I'm going to talk about that later, okay? And then I have a loaf of whole wheat bread, all right? So we're going to discuss the differences and the nutritional facts of the difference between white bread and wheat bread, all right? So dealing with white bread, we have 65 calories of a slice in white bread, where in whole wheat bread, I have 60 calories a count per slice, all right? Dealing with our carbs, now carbs are those things that we need for energy, supplied energy, and for a slice of white bread in carbs is 12 grams, and whole wheat, white bread, lifting up the wrong thing there. I was lifting up the wheat bread. Okay, in carbs of wheat bread, whole wheat bread is 11 carbs, where the carbs in white bread are 12 carbs. So a little bit about the same. Okay, protein. There's a little more protein, 3 grams of protein, compared to 2 grams of protein per slice in a white piece of bread. Okay, sugar. There's a little more sugar in white bread, so it's been added some sweetness in there, where there's less of a gram in sugar in whole wheat bread. Okay, fiber, this is where it kind of takes over here. Fiber, there's more fiber. Remember, that's the nutrient that we need in our bodies to push out the waste of things that we don't need in our body. Okay, so there's 2 grams per slice. So if you have a sandwich, that would be 4 grams. 2 slices make 4 grams, where there's actually 3/4 of a gram of fiber in just a slice of white bread. Okay, and then we go into our fat. There's 1/2 gram of fat, and there's 3/4 of a gram of fat in white bread. So a little bit healthier on the whole wheat side, all right? Now we're going to talk about the vitamins in bread, all right? So vitamins in bread doesn't have too many vitamins. The vitamins that bread carries is all in the vitamin B group, okay? With the vitamin B group, that is the vitamin that supplies that short bursts of energy, all right? So our nutrients, our vitamins, are also helpful with our muscles, okay? So I'm going to start with vitamin B1. That's called also thiamine. They might identify it on the back of nutrition packages as thiamine. Enables your body to use carbs, okay, as energy. Going next to vitamin B2 is also in bread, and that's another name you might see it on the back of the nutrition pack is riboflavin, and that helps break down proteins and fats and carbs so your body can store for energy, okay? And then vitamin B3, which is another name is niacin, that you might see it on the back of a nutrition facts package, it helps every part of your body needs it, but you don't want to take too much. It can be kind of dangerous. So you want to keep it kind of low with vitamin B3 because it can actually have adverse effects, okay? Talking about the minerals of whole wheat and white for minerals. The minerals that are in both that they have are manganese, and that manganese helps with your metabolism, bone formation, and blood clotting. Remember, blood clotting is when you get a cut, your blood starts to kind of thicken and harden into a scab. That's blood clotting. Okay. It also has a new mineral that I haven't spoken about in the other foods that we've discussed, is selenium. Okay. Selenium is a mineral that is for your thyroid gland, and your thyroid gland is right here, a little bit just above your Adam's apple, okay? And it's a gland that we kind of don't pay attention to, but it is very important to our body, okay? It helps out with all organs and hormones and our moods, and helps out with distributing the fluids correctly across our body. And if it doesn't happen properly, then a lot of the other organs and functions in our body really slip, and we start to get depressed or overweight or things like that. So our thyroid is very important. So selenium is the mineral that helps out with our thyroid gland, okay? Also, there's a little bit of calcium and iron in bread, okay? Not a lot, not like milk and not like meats or anything like that, but there is some calcium and iron in bread, and of course calcium helps out with our bone formation and teeth formation, so our strong teeth, and iron helps out with creating red blood cells, and which helps transport oxygen in our bodies, all right? Now, I'm going to talk about the history of bread. Now, talking about the history of bread, I have this grass thing that has these feather things, and I don't know if you remember the food that I had that had similar things like that. You remember it was called rice, all right? So rice is very similar to what we call wheat. So this would be similar to wheat. It's a grass, okay? Notice there's feathery things at the end. That's where the seeds are. Again, I'm going to explain that to you, just like rice. So in the primitive days, they grew this grass back in the day of 22,000 years ago. Flat bread has been made. So pretty much bread is probably the oldest food, considering the discovery of food for the human consumption of body, or human consumption, okay? So 22,000 years ago, people figured out, but it wasn't like the bread we have now. It's not like the bread that we have here, okay? What they figured out is how to get the seed out of the grass, the wheat grass, okay? And then they just left it and they crushed it and they pulverized it. And then they would cook it, and it would just be kind of a flat bread. Meanwhile, we've added, to get loaves of bread and hamburger buns and hot dog buns, we've added ingredients to make it rise. And I'm going to talk about that ingredient a little bit later on. All right? So as times went by, the Egyptians actually figured out in 4000 BC how to add it and know what it is today, adding this ingredient, which we know as yeast. Okay? So sliced bread, this bread, and these breads were invented in 1928. Sliced bread. So obviously bread was made back thousands and thousands of years ago. It was just a loaf, and what people did is they either sliced it or they pulled at the bread, okay, to get the bread that they wanted. All right? So in Germany, and Germany actually produces the widest variety of breads of any country. They actually produce 200 different types of bread. All right? So going next to talking about that ingredient that makes bread so fluffy and airy and interesting. It's actually an ingredient called yeast, okay? And yeast is actually a living organism. It's a one-cell organism that's considered a fungus. So you and I, we eat fungus. If you have a sandwich at Subway or a sandwich at a deli or a hamburger at McDonald's or In-N-Out, you are actually eating fungus with your burger because the yeast was actually an added ingredient into your bread. Okay, so the yeast, what it does is when you cook it, yeast is a one-cell organism that eats starches and sugars. So when it eats the starches and sugars, and you're like going, ooh, goodness, I eat something that's kind of gross? Yes. But what it does is it releases carbon dioxide, CO2. And what the CO2 does is a gas that we breathe out as well, and it fluffs up the dough. Okay? It fluffs it up, and it causes the dough to rise. All right? So it's very interesting formation, and it's what makes bread so nice and fluffy and spongy and soft that you want to eat. Okay? The inner part of the bread, some of us don't like to eat the crumb. I know a couple of my kids don't like to eat the crust, so we always have to cut the crust off. We know what the crust is, but the inner part of the bread, interesting, has a name too. The inner part of the bread is called the crumb. So if you ever want to tell your parents, if you don't like the crust, you say, I just want a crumb sandwich. Not meaning crumbs on the ground, it's actually called the crumb. Okay? We Americans consume 53 pounds of bread a year, okay, on average. All right, so just to give you an idea how much that is, a whole loaf of bread, this whole loaf, weighs about a pound, okay? A pound of bread. So you can think how many slices of bread are in there. We eat about 53 loaves a year, all right, on average. So with your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, your tuna sandwiches, whatever, your Subway, all that, okay? Bread has some interesting other facts, okay? Bread, if you store it in the refrigerator, like your parents might do, or you guys might store it in a drawer on the counter, okay, it actually will stale 6 times faster in the fridge than it does on the counter, okay? So you want to keep it at room temperature. Now, if it's hot in your house, though, that has an adverse effect. Actually, it might grow something what we call mold, and that is a different thing that we don't want to put on our bread. We usually cut that off, and it has another living organism on it that's eating away at the bread, which is mold, okay? Another thing, though, that would prevent mold is cinnamon, okay? So cinnamon is a seasoning that we can add to bread and coat it, but I don't know if you want to have a cinnamon and tuna sandwich or a cinnamon and peanut butter sandwich, though sounds pretty good, but cinnamon actually prevents the growing of mold, all right? The first food eaten, I'm going to give you some other fun facts. The first food eaten on the moon was bread. Buzz Aldrin, the first astronaut on the moon, he had a communion wafer, so he ate actually bread on the moon when he first got there. All right. Most bread that is wheat bread, so I wanted to hold up this one here because it says wheat and this says whole wheat, and you're probably wondering what the difference is. Whole wheat bread is actually made from the grains into the bread. Okay? Wheat bread is actually white bread that has been added with food coloring, caramel food coloring, to make it brown. Okay, so this is actually white bread. If it does not say whole wheat bread, and you're reading the back of the nutrition facts, it's always important to read the back of the nutrition facts. It is this bread been added with brown coloring to make it this color. Okay, and that's not fair for us to be kind of lied to like that. Yeah, it's not. So it's very important that you always read the information about food, okay? One few facts that I want to add to you. Before erasers were invented, erasers that are on your pencils, before they were invented, people used breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs that would fall down on the ground, or they picked the bread, people used breadcrumbs to erase pencil marks. So you're probably thinking, how funny is that? Would you eat that bread that had erased pencil marks? That'd be kind of gross, right? Okay, so a lot of yucky things that you could kind of think about bread with. I wouldn't recommend you take a full slice and start erasing your homework or your schoolwork for your teacher, all right? Your mom might get upset about you using that bread. So those are the interesting things about bread and their nutrition facts. We are now going to head over and start doing our exercises connected with bread. All right, boys and girls, so we just learned some interesting things about bread and knowing that it's a grain. And so now it's time to exercise. So let's go ahead and get our stretching in, all right? So one arm, cross your chest, and push your elbow in. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. All right, opposite arm, cross your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 10 big arm rolls to stretch out those shoulders. All right, ready? Go with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, backwards. 10. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. All right, one foot in front of the other. Lean over your knee and keep your feet flat on the ground. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Okay, switch legs. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Okay, this time one foot in front of the other. And keep your knees straight. Bend over and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Switch the one foot in front of the other foot. And count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Let's do some washing machines, okay? And we're going to do 20 machines and doing our twist, okay? Hands on your hips, or you can do it like this too with our hands floating like that, okay? So ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, make sure you're breathing through your nose and out your mouth. All right, through your nose and out your mouth. Loosen up those muscles, shake them up a little bit, okay? Loosen up your arms, roll your shoulders a couple times, roll them forward. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we were talking about bread being made from grass, basically wheat grass, and some people are allergic to that, which people have allergies to. It's called celiac disease. So if you ever hear of that, that's people having allergies to wheat, okay? So they get upset stomachs and things like that. But we're going to go ahead and dig away, all right? We got to plant the seeds. So let's go ahead and dig, 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 dig. No, dig into that dirt and lean in, dig, lean in. Do that one leg. Make sure you're keeping your back straight. Dig, dig, keep digging. Dig, dig, dig. Good job. You guys are doing great. All right, let's count down from 5. 5, 4, reach out. 3, 2, and 1. Opposite side. Okay, so lean over that opposite leg and dig. And put the other arm in front, other fist in front, and dig. And dig. Lean over. Reach out as far as you can. Your shovel is long. Lean back. Keep your back straight as much as possible. Keep your tummy tight. And lean over your knee. And dig. Let's count from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. All right. Let's breathe in through your nose. And blow out your birthday candles. Through your nose. And blow out your birthday candles. Breathe in that bread, nice cooked baked bread. And blow it out your birthday candles. That birthday cake. Okay, we're going to plant the seeds. So when we plant the seeds, guess what we're doing? We are going to be planking. Okay, so one's going to be put the seed in and then cover the seed, all right, with opposite hands. All right, let's go ahead and go. Okay, so plant the seed, smooth over the dirt. Plant the seed, smooth over the dirt. Plant the seed, smooth over the dirt. Plant and smooth. 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 You got a lot of wheat to plant. Plant and smooth. Plant and smooth. Plant and smooth. All right, opposite. So we're going to plant with the opposite hand and smooth with the opposite. Plant, smooth. 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 Plant, and smooth. Great job. Let's breathe. Stand up. Breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. Through your nose, out your mouth. One more. Breathe in that baked bread and blow out those birthday candles. All right, this time we got to get the seeds out of those little feathery pieces of the grass. So we're going to take the groups of grass and we're going to beat them. Grab them in our hands and beat. Over head, over down. So we're going to be like doing a hammer and squat your knees, bend your knees while you're doing this. Okay, and beat. Beat the grass, get all the seeds out. The grass has grown. We've moved on. Gotten a little faster. The wheat has grown. It's dried up and we're going to get all the seeds out. And beat. If you want to go faster, you can go faster. Make sure your tummy stays tight. Let's count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right, shake your arms up, muscles out. Shake your leg muscles. Breathe. And out. Through your nose. And out your mouth. Through your nose. And out your mouth. All right, so let's say we got all the seeds. We crushed them all up into powder. We're going to go ahead and stir, mix the ingredients, the yeast, and all the dough and everything. We're going to get it all together, the ingredients. So let's go ahead. We call it flour. Okay, the wheat has turned into flour. And we're going to stir. Hold the bowl. Hold the bowl with one side. Stir it, stir it, stir it. Act like you got a big heavy spoon. You got to hold that bowl. Make sure it doesn't tip over. Stir, 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 stir. Good job. All right, opposite side. Opposite. That hand got a little tired. So stir, stir, stir. Good job, good job. Keep stirring. We're all in the middle of the process of getting that bread made. We need it for our sandwiches. We're going to send it off to Subway. All right, good job. Let's breathe in through your nose. Out your mouth. Through your nose. Out your mouth. Shake up relax your arms and shake those muscles to loosen them up. And let's get that oxygen into our muscles. All right, this time we're going to knead the dough. So knead the dough is going to like make it. So kneading is like this. It's kind of like a low push. A low push. Okay? So push, push, push with your fist. You're kneading the dough. We call it kneading. Okay? So we're going to push, push, push down on the dough. And push. Push it. All right, make sure, boys and girls, you are breathing through your nose and out your mouth. Through your nose and out your mouth. Nice deep breath. Smell that nice baked bread. And blow out your birthday candles. All right, our next exercise, we're going to be punching the bread down because all those yeast little microorganisms have caused the bread to rise too much. So if we have that, we're going to have the bread's not going, it's going to get burned in the oven, all right? So we don't want it to overflow in the oven. So we have to do a process called punching it down. We have to punch the air, a lot of the CO2 out to get it because there's too much. Okay, so we're going to make this. We're going to punch down, punch, 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 side to side, punch, side to side, punch, and punch. Keep punching and go side to side. If you go faster, you can go slower. Remember, modify your exercising. Punch, punch, punch. Punch down that dough. You don't want it growing out of the house, growing through your doors and your windows, coming out of the oven. Punching, punching, punching. Good job, good job. All right. Breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. Breathe through your nose and out your mouth. All right, smell that nice baked bread and blow out your birthday candles. All right, last process we're going to do with our bread, okay? It's been put in the oven. It's been baked nicely and everything, but for us to eat it and make it into sandwiches, we need to slice it. Remember, 1928, first time it was invented, a sliced bread. That was a big thing, right? It made life easy for a lot of us. All right, so we're going to slice our bread, get our little knives out. Our hands are going to be knives. We're going to slice our bread, okay? Slice your bread. You got loaves to go. So it's act like you're going your hands over the loaves. Over the loaves. Cut all those slices, and then act like the loaves are moving on to the next processing plant. Keep your arms straight if you can. Get those muscles working in your upper arms as well, and your tummy. Keep your tummy tight. Slice that bread. Slice that bread. Good job, good job, good job. You got a few more loaves to go. Keep slicing, keep slicing, keep slicing. Slice, slice, slice. If you would have invented this process, you would have become a millionaire back then. All right, great job. Through your nose, out your mouth. Smell that nice baked bread. And breathe out. One time more. And blow out your birthday candles. All right, great job, boys and girls. Hopefully you learned some fun facts about bread. Maybe you can tell some family members what you know about it now and everything. I think bread is a very interesting food. We use it in a lot of things, right? All right, have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.